Welcome back, America, and happy birthday, fetching Mrs. Hewitt. It's election day in many places across the country, especially in California. I've told you to get out and vote for Young Kim and Michelle Steele and David Valladeo and Mike Garcia. Lonnie Chen for controller. Vote for Rick Caruso in L.A. Vote the DA, Chase Boudin, out by voting yes on H. But listen, every Californian can vote for my guest, Nathan Hochman, who joins me now. He is running for Attorney General. Good morning, Nathan. How's it look today?
Good morning, Hugh. It's looking great. We've accomplished our goals, Hugh. We raised over $2 million. We've got endorsements from everyone from Governor Pete Wilson, Darrell Issa, the California Republican Party, Kevin McCarthy, every Republican Congress member that is endorsed, every California state legislator that's endorsed, DA, law enforcement. And we've gotten at our Republican, very conservative safety and security message across the entire political spectrum. And of that $2 million, 40% of it is coming in from Democrats and independents who are equally fed up, afraid, and frustrated with the far-left agenda of our current California Attorney General, Rob Bonta. So I'm looking forward to a great election day, Hugh, and thank you for asking.
Now, Nathan Hochman, it's very important that people find you on a long ballot, and the AG's race can get buried sometimes on the long ballot. Where are you on the ballot? Where do they find the Attorney General's race? Right below Governor?
Yeah, so right after the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, and Controller, you'll see the Attorney General. There's 5 of us. Nathan Hochman is the one I would ask people to vote for. I'm the leading Republican challenger to Rob Bonta. Even though the far left, Hugh, actually has taken $1.5 million and tried to use that to promote the weakest candidate in the field. If you can imagine that, they've run ads on conservative media for a month with $1.5 million. The far left trying to pick out someone, in essence, on the far right.
They do not want to face you, Nathan. They don't,
No.
and I know that. They are desperate. They're trying to play this game against Young Kim, who I had on as well, by nominating someone who's not electable. And you are the only electable Republican because you're actually a real lawyer and you actually want to prosecute people.
Right. I mean, I have 30 years of criminal justice experience as a federal prosecutor, 7 years when it was narcotics traffickers and gang members. Then President George W. Bush nominated me to be the Assistant Attorney General of the U.S. Department of Justice's Tax Division. We went after tax cheats across the nation. Then I had the chance to even be a defense attorney and the president of the LA City Ethics Commission. And that's in contrast, Hugh, to the absolute zero law enforcement years of our current Attorney General and that weak opponent that I mentioned before. So I've got 30 against 0, and they don't want to face that in the general election.
Nathan Hochman, the hardest thing to do, though, is to get local media, which is hard. I mean, the LA Times is so left-wing, it's lunatic now. Has any old school media endorsed you? Has anyone come up and figured out that California is falling into the Pacific and they need Nathan Hochman for AG?
Well, Hugh, I've been endorsed by, again, the California Republican Party and all the major slates out there, from the Howard Jarvis slate to the COP slate to senior citizen slate to taxpayer revolt slates, and so the major slates have not. The far left magazines and newspapers have not endorsed me. The LA Times gave me a 10-minute interview and basically wrote me off as soon as they found out that I wanted to bring back safety and security to California and that was going to be my priority.
I'm really praying that Rick Caruso wins today and that you do, Nathan, and that Lonnie does, because the state's in a mess. I mean, you've gone up and down. I know you've done Skid Row. I know you've gone along the boardwalk in Orange County. I know you've been up in San Francisco. I don't think the rest of the country understands how lawless California is.
You're absolutely right. When you live here, it's stunning. I've lived here all my life, Hugh. I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s and 90s, and the noughts. And watching what's going on today in 2022, even compared to 2014, 2014 was considered one of our safest years. But then we passed a bunch of laws that weaken prosecutors, weaken law enforcement, and then we got ourselves Gascon and Boudin, some of the most far-left, progressive, Soros-funded prosecutors in the nation. We've watched two of the great cities on planet Earth, Los Angeles and San Francisco, literally go off a cliff when it concerns safety and security. And my goal is to bring that back, to basically bring back using pragmatic, Republican, conservative ideas of partnering with the police, funding the police, and making sure crimes have consequences to restore safety and security for all Californians.
Good luck, Nathan Hochman. I'm sure my colleagues on AM 870 The Answer, on 590 The Answer in San Diego and San Francisco and Fresno, my affiliates all across the state, will be out there pushing Nathan Hochman, Lan Hee Chen, and your local Republican congressperson. I'll give you the results in the morning.